Welcome back, boys and girls, to another wonderful math lesson with Mr. Bedley here, and we're going to be taking a look at continuing our understanding of doing division with three-digit numbers being divided by a one-digit number. And before we get started, let me get you started on a joke here. So this guy walks into a library. He goes up to the counter and he says, "I'll take a cheeseburger, a fries, and a large Coke." Well, you're going to have to stay tuned until later in the video to find out what happens next. But anyway, here we go with our lesson. Starting to read right here. In order to divide 150 into three equal groups, break up the 100 so that it becomes 10 tens. You see, 100 is the same thing as 10 tens, right? 1 10, 2 10, that's 20, 3 tens is 30, so on. You get up to 9 tens, that's 90, and so 10 tens is 100. So you're going to break that 100 up into 10 tens. Now combined with the 5 tens, 15 tens can be divided into three equal groups. Multiply to see how many have been allocated. That means how many have been put into the groups. Subtract to see if there are any left over, and then bring down the ones and repeat the process. So we have a little shortcut to remember this, some steps. We say first we're going to divide, then we're going to multiply, then we're going to subtract, and then we're going to bring down. Those are our 4 steps that we go through over and over again when we're dividing. And the D stands for divide, but we can remember this as dead monkeys smell bad. Well, yes they do. And this will help you to remember the 4 steps. Dead monkeys smell bad. There they are right there. Dead monkeys smell bad. Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So let's take a look at these base 10 blocks here. So we've got this, this is the number 150 right here. If you were to go through and count every single one of these little tiny squares, you'd count 150 of them. Of course, this right here represents the number 100, and then we have 5 sticks, each one having 10 little squares in it, and so that's 50 altogether. So you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So what they're saying that you're really doing when you're doing this division problem is you're taking this 10 tens and you're breaking that down into these 10 tens basically right here, and then you have the other 5 tens right there. And to divide that by 3, those 15 tens, you'd have 5 tens in each group. 5, 10, 15. See, 15 divided by 3 is 5, or 5 tens in each group. So we have 50 here, 50 here, and 50 here. And most of you are probably good enough at math to be able to count by 50s. You know, 50, and then another 50 would be 100, and then another 50 is 150. So obviously, 3 groups of 50 makes 150. It says if 150 is divided into 3 equal groups, you will have 50 in each group. 3 groups of 50 equals 3 times 50. Since 3 times 50 is 150, the answer checks with multiplication. And here's how they do the problem, written out in what we would call the algorithm. So you have 15 tens divided by 3. That's 5 tens. Notice that's written in the tens place, not the ones place. And then we multiply next the 5 times 3 to get 15. And then we subtract. 15 minus 15 is 0. And then we bring down the number in the ones place to join whatever's left over from the tens place. And there's nothing there. And so 3 goes into nothing, nothing times, 0 times. And so there's 0 ones that we're ending up with in our answer. And of course we already knew that because 50, 50, 50 makes 150. 150 divided into 3 equal groups, it makes 50 in each group. All right, now let's try some problems using our algorithm, and we're going to do this first one together. So get your pencil ready, stay with me here, and if I go too fast for you can always pause the video and do some writing to catch up. So first of all, we notice that this is the number 189, which is one of the hundreds blocks. Let me draw that up here like that. 8 of the 10 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8 of those sticks that has 10 in each one. And then 9 more, right? Okay, so we're dividing that into 3 groups. Well, we can't really divide the 100 into 3 groups because there's only one of them there. So what we do again is we break that part into 10 tens, and then we can combine that with the 8 tens that are right here. So that makes 18 tens altogether. And what would 18 tens divided by 3 be? Well, it's like 18 divided by 3. The answer is 6, because there would be 6 in each group. And I can show that to you here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 in that group. And then we got 4 here, 2 more over there, kind of like that. There's 6 in that group. And then we have 6 left right here. So 18 divided by 3, or 18 tens divided by 3, is equal to 60 in each group. And I'm putting that 6 here in the tens place right above the 8 because it's equal to 60 and not 6. Okay, so that was my division that I just did of 18 divided by 3, or 180 divided by 3. And then I'm going to multiply next. Dead monkeys smell bad. M multiply. And what I'm doing is I'm checking to see what this comes out to be when I'm going backwards of my division, right? So 6 times 3, the inverse operation, is 18, or 180, because that's actually 60. 180, I'll even put that 0 in there. And when I do 189 minus 180, I get 9 right there. Or I can think of it as getting 0 here and bringing down the 9, same idea. And so that was my subtraction, and then I'm bringing down this 9 here, and then I start all over again. I do 9 divided by 3. That's what I have left, is these 9 ones that are over here. If I'm dividing that by 3, I'm obviously going to have 3 in each group. So I put a 3 up here. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract and get 0. Alright, why don't you pause the video, try number 2 by yourself, see if you can get it, give it your best shot, turn the video back on after you try it, even if you don't have the right answer or whatever, just give it your best shot, and then you can see me do it after you've tried it yourself. Okay, so you should have already done number 2. This is 400 divided by 5. Now, 400s would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I try to divide that by 5, there's not even going to be 1 in each group. So now I'm going to break each one of these into 10 sticks each. So I'm going to end up with 40 sticks, and you can see that number right here, 40 10 sticks. Well, what is 40 divided by 5? That would be 8, or 80. 80 times 5 is 400, and I put that 40 there. I get 0. I bring down the 0, and then I'm just getting nothing because 0 divided by 5 is nothing. And if you think about it again here, 80 times 5 is 400. If you were to count by 80s, 80, 160, another 80 would make 240, another 80 would make 320, and another 80 would make 400. So 5 of those 80s makes 400. That problem makes sense. Okay, pause the video, go ahead and do numbers 3 and 4, and then turn it back on when you're ready for the solutions. Okay, our first problem here, number 3, you should have already done this. 4 goes into 1. It can't go into 100. If I take one of these right up here, try to break it up into 4 pieces, it's not really going to work. So I'm going to combine that 100 with my two tens, and so I've got the number 120 here. And 120 divided by 4 is 30, and 30 times 4 is 120. And I subtract and get my 8, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Of course, 2 times 4 is 8, and there's nothing left at the end, so we don't have what's called a remainder. Okay, and then on this last one, 14 divided by 7, because we can't do 1 divided by 7, is equal to 2. 2 times 7 is 14, or 140 is kind of like what we're doing there. You can put the 0 out there, or you can bring it down. It's the exact same thing. We get 0, 7, and then I'm doing 7 divided by 7 here as my last step, and 7 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times 7, 7, and we get 0. So hopefully you got all those right, and thanks for watching. Oh, I got to tell you the end of the joke. Good thing you didn't hang up there. All right. So this guy walks into this library, walks up to the counter and says, I'll take a cheeseburger, an order of fries, and a large Coke. And the librarian behind the counter leans forward and looks at him, and she says, this is a library. And so the guy says, oh, sorry, I'll take a cheeseburger, French fries, and a large Coke.